You know, one might look at the events we just discussed and draw a conclusion from them. One might conclude, based on the way that story went, that we live in a society.
I'd say we live in hell world, but I could deal with a society. What kind of society do we live in, Batman?
One where we added more to the line to try and make it make sense and treat it like it wasn't the meme that it was. One where my forehead can say, repaired.
It's that Zack Snyder is like,
I mean,
he's
listen,
a maestro of missing the point.
Well, dude, it's a hell of a grift, right? Because here's the thing. When I had to explain why that moment at the end of that trailer was such a thing to Punch Mom, because I had to break down the history of the Justice League movie, and then I had to break down the history of Gamers Rise Up, and then I had to break down the history of Snyder in general, and it was a trek, but we got there. The thing, when you look at it, is that like this entire movie, not even just this little Jared Leto aspect, but this entire thing is like, what if we took the meme and took the bad movie and like straight up pretended that this was kind of what it was intended to be the whole time, and just basically go like, nah, that last thing, nuh-uh, that was, oof, wow, what a stinker, right? Am I right, guys? And just straight up, it wasn't me. And fucking stone face it as you come out and call this the Snyder Cut while you're reshooting things and like re-rendering the entire bad guy.
If you're shooting hours of new scenes,
but it's maintaining that narrative because they're calling it the Snyder Cut in order to like appease the meme and make anyone who was like, I don't know, man. People say the word like, oh, like the DC fanboys and the Snyder fanboys, and like people throw those things out there, and I'm like,
now it has become the Snyder cult because they act like a cult. They are crazy people.
But that's the thing is, I'm like, okay, let's like not throw out some accusation, and then I look at the replies to that fucking thing, and like,
it's fucking crazy. It's like the death of taste.
Oh man, like, look, I'm not this guy, right? I'm not this person. But I saw unironic posting of some folks who were, to use a term, displaying what is called soy face. Are you familiar with the concept of soy face?
I'm familiar. I have heard of soy face, yes.
Okay. I'm not this guy. That's not whatever. But, like, I saw that and I couldn't think of anything else because it was legitimately two people making a big shocked oh as they stared at the Joker's inclusion in the Snyder Cut and the fact that he said the line, "We live in a society."
So I want to point out that when I saw that trailer come out, I didn't watch it because I saw everyone saying, I can't believe Joker says we live in a society. And I spent most of the day under the assumption everyone was having a laugh. And then I actually decided to watch it, and he does actually say it. And who was it? Somebody on my timeline posted just a single response, which was literally indistinguishable from parody.
So my first, exactly. My first impression was that it was a meme, but it's because I saw Jared Leto retweet the trailer and he wrote the line at the top. So I thought, like, or Leto, whatever. I thought he was the one that was memeing and that the trailer was just a trailer or whatever. Now, in it, I mean, look, man, after that whole thing with Suicide Squad, and then, you know, like they cut his part out and this, that, and extra mad because, you know, Joaquin Phoenix, I'm surprised, like, he came back for this.
He is convinced that his Joker is like the greatest Joker of all time, and the only reason people didn't like him in Suicide Squad is because they didn't see his whole performance. When it's like, dude, I knew you were trash from the second you showed up on the screen.
Well, now that he's been repaired, he no longer has the tats or the look or the aesthetic, and you know, he's better now. Maybe there'll be a difference. You know, maybe the fact that it's all done in reshoots means that the people he's working with on set won't get super mad at him for trying to play the Joker as a method character, where he stays in the role outside of shots and annoys everybody with pranks, but they're not fucking having any of it.
You know what's funny is that I believe Heath Ledger was also a method actor, and so is Christian Bale. And I don't remember hearing anything about them acting like pieces of shit on set for Dark Knight. But every time Jared Leto comes up, it's like, haha, he thought it was really method to fuck with us constantly.
Yep. Because it's Joker. He's all about that gang weed. You know what it is. No matter what generation of gamer, ancient, classic, or modern, don't mess with us.
It's like I don't get why every now and then you see like fucking Warner Brothers tells a fucking director they don't have $3 million to shoot like the ending of their movie or whatever the fuck, right? And Snyder gets like hundreds of millions of dollars to film shit that reviews like trash, and people don't go and watch. So why?
But because it's really important for them to eventually nail it, even if they fail and fail and fail. They have to, through trial and error, eventually get to a point where they nail it, because, you know, owning a cinematic universe and then making 20 movies that people go see that they're attached to is, again, it's to see that happening across the street, and you're not in on the pie, you're not getting any of that, is not a good feeling. It's in their interest to keep trying until they eventually figure it out. And maybe this time, a release, a failure, an ability to go back and read all the critic reviews and all the complaints and look at the bad CG and look at the editing and all the things that went wrong and update it and do it like fucking, you know, like we make jokes about like Cats getting updated and shit, but like, no, this is really taking that Anthem, Fallout 76, No Man's Sky, reset the clock mentality to a bad movie and just re-release it because this one happens to have a rabid fandom, you know, that will work for them.
All right, you're right. Okay. We've listened to the
then it might actually work. What if
all right,
it works?
cool. Let's check out what Darkseid looks like. Right, yeah. They're totally going to make a sick-ass product. When every single fucking CG character looks like they belong on my fucking video card box. And Cyborg looks legitimately shittier than both his Injustice 2 model and the fucking TV version from Doom Patrol.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a while before the lesson is learned about like fatiguing people on some of these characters.
I don't understand Zack Snyder. He had a couple hits. I think 300 was a massive hit. I think Watchmen did pretty well. But like he also made Sucker Punch, which fucking bombed.
Yep.
And Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman also bombed. And just Warner Brothers is just like, okay, we know you're terrible. Watchmen bombed? Great. Like, okay, we know you're a terrible director and you lose us all this money. So here's more money.
I wonder.
I don't get it. I just don't get it.
I wonder if that's how it ends up shaking out. You know? Because it's the hackdom is clear, but like financially, is it more lucrative than we know? Could there be something else to it?
Absolutely not. Like, I don't think there is literally a way they can recoup the costs for the Snyder Cut.
But don't forget that Uwe Boll found a way to release bombs indefinitely and make money on his bombs.
Yeah, but that was a specific German tax credit.
I know. But it's just like something's up. He keeps getting jobs. You know what I mean? Like, and maybe it's just a matter of the cult of personality around it. You know, maybe it's just that simple. And I'm not talking about Jared Leto's cult. That is, I'm talking about the
oh man,
the Snyderites. You know, I don't know.